Good morning from northern Manitoba, Canada. This is Joe. This is my little my driveway. Hopefully we don't get a bigger snowfall than what we've had. I'm responding, I guess, to other videos that have been on YouTube about living off the grid, and I don't think it's as hard as people think, because are expensive. There's a few videos where people are complaining about the campsites or running water, and I think before you go off the grid, that's something that you gotta know. It's just, it's like driving on a slippery road. You're bound to crash. It might happen. But I'm not fully off the grid because I have power and I haul in my own water. I am about, I don't know, 5 kilometers from the nearest person and about 120 kilometers from the nearest city. So off the grid is pretty good because I moved into an RV in July, a smaller Ford, a 26 foot with the bed up on top, and me and my partner, we couldn't sleep up there. It was torture, especially in the summer, and it was nice to maneuver around, go boondocking, but in the end there wasn't enough space for us. So I went on Kijiji and I traded off that RV and I got a bigger RV, a 36 foot bounder. With my luck, it had needed a lot of repairs, but the handy person I am, I did all the repairs. But as for the videos on off the grid and everything on YouTube, I see people complaining about campsites and all this stuff. Well, there's a lot of other opportunities like the one I have. We were living in a small town and it was awkward living there, like, going boondocking and going to Walmart's. I wouldn't do that again because they do come and throw you out in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. So we were lucky enough to find an old farmhouse. We came looking at antiques, not to buy, just to browse. And we asked the owner how much he'd want a month, and he said, hydro is we'll go make it hydro for $100 and $100, providing you don't ruin the place. So it was an abandoned house, as I repeated I'll repeat myself in previous video. I explained that, and the guy is awesome, and this is our yard. This is what I see in the morning. Again, I cut those trees down, and he has a bunch of buildings. There's like 9 of these old buildings, barns full of antiques and everything. And I just want people to know, why sit in one spot and pay bills? Like, you're gonna pay for a house for 25 years, mortgage, or leasing it and everything, and just buy yourself a cheap RV and go off the grid. Like, as for me here, I have this mobile home, and I have a wood stove, my wood, and you can actually hear the phone ringing inside. I have Shaw Direct, as I mentioned. I have XploreNet with home phone, which cost me $49 a month on a 3-year plan. AAA Alarms is coming, and they are hooking up an alarm with a fire and everything, and it goes to a smartphone. So if a fire or somebody breaks in on my home, this isn't an RV or motorhome, this is my home. It'll notify the proper authorities, me and the nearest neighbor. There is a house that has electricity. I ordered 150 watt yard light. So the bill came in today, and I used $60 in hydro. So my main heat is only the wood stove. I don't have the furnace going. I'm out of propane on purpose because we don't use it. We cook on top of the wood stove. This is an old house. It is livable, I guess. Nobody's been in here for, well, they said the last people that stayed in here were 25 years ago. I cleaned it up. It took a while, and I hooked up. This wood stove was out in one of the sheds, and it's not up to code. That's not the proper pipe in there. I just shoved it way in there, and and I've had this stove going, and where I put 5 logs in there, and the next day they're still burning. You know, if I wanted, I could probably, there's a dugout, so I could probably get this water going, and it you know, for what it is, it's warm. And right now it's minus 15 outside Celsius. I'm doing a pretty good job of not shaking the camera, I hope. And it's not as bad as people are saying. I've seen one video of a couple yesterday, and they're complaining about how much they spend a month and everything. So, you know, total cost for us here, you know, the $200 to the owner, the wood, we, you know, I didn't have a chainsaw or axe, so it cost me 200 for a cord of wood, and we've been going through wood, but you know, we like it really warm in the RV. So, you know, without the wood cost, that would have lasted me a little while there. You know, with internet and everything, it's under $300. So $300 a month compared to paying rent at the nearest house is, you know, 1400 here, plus the hydro, plus the internet, plus the plus, but there's no, the pluses here is everything is amazing. Like, you know, it is something else. So you don't have to go scouting and looking at everything. You know, take that take the plunge and just, you know, if you see an empty yard, you can go, you know, the old farmer might say, yeah, I was fortunate in that this farmer said yes, go ahead. It cost me $100 for the big tractor to come through. I was scared at first, and you know, me and my partner, but we're fine. You know, we have all LED lighting. The RV is plugged in, and the power right now is running the fridge, and then I do have the solar panel kit up on top. So when it's plugged in, I have an inverter, little inverter in the fridge here, so that it will run off. I'll unplug it and just let it run off the batteries. I have 3 batteries in the front, deep cycle batteries that are well, they're in there anyways, and they're all connected. So 3 deep cycle batteries, 105 watt solar cells up on top, plus the factory one, which is 25 watts to keep the batteries topped up. Everything is LED, as I said. We're not, you know, it's like having a 1-bedroom apartment. And you know, I'm fortunate that I do have a living room, like a dining room. You know, yeah, it's kind of dirty in here right now. The coffee maker's plugged in, obviously, to the pole, you know, and there's a bedroom. So when my partner comes home, she can go in the room, do what she's got to do, sleep or whatever, and I can watch TV here. And this is a DVD playing, and there's my router. You know, it's not as bad as people think. If you utilize your resources very well, it's good. So ExploreNet again, like there's the home phone, you know, and then the alarm will be installed, and I will be posting that. The wood stove is, you know, we don't go through much wood. That I put like fire stop, everything. The ceiling was made of like 2 or 3 inch styrofoam, so that scared me. But I filled everything in, and I have pictures. There's stuffed. So I just leave it like that. Coals are good. And you know, if you check out my other videos, like this does work wonders. As I said, this pipe goes all through the bottom of the flooring, zigzagging around. There's a little hole underneath between right there. That's where the air is being sucked, and like I said, it does suck. That cold air goes all the way through the venting, which is above the temperature from outside, and blows out to the chimney, which in return turns into warm air and you know, cycles the air. And we haven't had a problem with freezing tanks or anything. I do have a leaking hose, water hose down there, but you know, to get water now, we are out of water, but we are hauling it in. And for showers, we go, you know, we go to the nearest town, and there's a truck stop and they charge us $10 to go shower, and why not go every second day? So for cooking, we, water and on top of the wood stove. So if anybody out there has any questions, comments, let me know. And life is so much easier than what a lot of people are posting about. Life is hard living off the grid, or like it's not. Grab yourself an RV, grab yourself a camper, make it your own. And we've stayed in here all winter. It's already going into February, and there was no problems. No problems with heat. We had it one week, it was minus 35. With the wind chill, it was minus 45 and minus 50, and we survived. It wasn't cold at all. The floor was kind of cold, like it wasn't warm, but it was fine. Like, we sat there and people would drive by, and we actually had a power outage in the nearby town as we sat in the town. And I almost felt guilty because we were sitting there with all the lights on, the batteries were full, and nobody had nothing. People were sitting in their cars for 5 hours as we sat in a nice warm RV. So, even for that, like, I don't know how, like if that's an emergency situation, we were fine, and we were almost going to go see the people and tell them, come sit in the RV if you guys are cold, because we didn't know when the power was going to come back on. I have the opportunity to be in a city, but I don't know how the wood stove would run. I do have insurance on the motorhome through Autopack, and then on top of that, I have the homeowner's insurance. It's insured, so if something happens, fire, theft, damage, I'm not too sure how they would cover if the wood stove, but with the alarm coming with the sensor for the fire and everything, it shouldn't be bad. Like, if a fire broke out, this would probably go up like a matchstick, but I'm praying to God. And yeah, there's not much to it. Don't worry about, oh, my neighbors, blah blah blah. Life doesn't come with a book, so just go. Who knows your next move? Jump in. Like, I know at the time I didn't think I could afford this thing. The guy wanted quite a bit for it. It's a little bit dirty. There's air ride in the back. I fixed everything. So from trading my little RV to this, which has the living room, the dining area, shower, bedroom. The bedroom's big. There's no wind coming in. I did cover the fridge during the winter, the vents there. Those awnings actually made a difference with the wind, so I put them down on the other side. I had that down too. I have plastic kits on all the windows, so this is the most condensation I've ever seen. Otherwise, there is no condensation. People are talking about, oh, there's so much condensation in my RV, or I think that's from the propane heaters. But see, there's a little bit of condensation there, but that's only because this plastic is off a bit. But look, it's minus whatever outside, and my windshield's clear. I've never put plastic on the front window. There was no need. The wood stove gave off enough heat. It's perfect. Like, all these windows they have plastic here, as I said, and I thought that there would be drafts along inside underneath the dash, or the window would be too cold, and that window stayed clear all winter. There was no coldness. Like I said, that was the only part of the floor that was cold, but it wasn't cold. It was manageable. Again, so, oh yeah, I did all these, the vents up on top. That was a great heat loss, except the one in the bedroom. The bedroom one we did have to open even in minus 20, minus 30 weather. So this is Joe, and I will upload more videos if you want, or feel free to ask me any questions. All right, off the grid in Canada. Thank you.